Today, wanted to give you my favorite tip for recruiting at the party. That's going to be our number one spot for recruiting. We've got an audience of 10 people, hopefully, that we can address everything with. So, I gave you those questions a couple of days ago and asked you to create your 31 story. I call this my 31 commercial, and I do this somewhere in the middle of my party. And I do it at every single party. And it's my way of talking to everybody there about the opportunity, because it's real important that we do that. And I found for me that this is the easiest way. There are many, many ways to do this, but kind of wanted to tell you what my way was. So what I do is about halfway through the party, I pause and say, okay, now it's time for my favorite part of the party, and it's my 31 commercial. And 31 has been so good to me. I want to share 31 with all of you all, and I'll let you know what my journey's been like. So just like every commercial, sometimes you have to hear it more than one time. So if you've been to another party, you've probably already heard this, and you didn't DVR it. So you're not going to be able to fast forward. So if you'll just give me a few minutes, let me kind of tell you about my journey with 31. And this is where I interject my story. I type that up for you so you can read that. It's in the group. I tell them my 31 story, answering those 4 questions. If you're a new consultant, you might use somebody else's story and say, I've seen what it can do for so many other women. I'm excited to see what it's going to do for me. So kind of share your story in combination with others if you don't have a long story. But I think we're all going to be able to answer those 4 questions. So answer those 4 questions and tell them your story. Shouldn't take very long. And I really tried to stick to the script. At first, I would always just read my story so that I made sure I hit everything that I wanted to hit, and then I said it in a short way. I don't know about you, but when I get to talking about 31, and especially talking about what 31 has done for me and my family, I can go on and on and on. And so by reading it, I really stick to what I want to talk about, the most important things, and get that point across quickly, hopefully in less than 3 minutes for the guests at the party. And then what I do is, after I've done the commercial, I play a little game where I'm giving away tickets. And for me, I use a deck of cards as tickets. I just use them over and over again. I found that's the best way for me at a party. I don't have little tickets everywhere, and the cards are slick and easy to pass out and so on. So I just use a deck of cards, and then what I do after I read my commercial is I say, okay, now I'm going to give away double tickets. If you ask me a question about my business, I'm going to give you 2 tickets. Now, you can ask me anything you want to. Nothing's too personal. You can ask me how many nights a week I do this, how much it costs to get started, or how I just earned my 4th all expenses paid trip. This year we're going to the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, the Hard Rock Cafe, with my husband. So who wants to start? So I always give them 3 questions. Now, you can make those questions be whatever you like. Those are the ones that I tend to stick with. And the reason that I give them those 3 questions is it gives them a place to start. The people are really competitive. They want to get those tickets, and so they're going to start asking those questions probably that you put out there just so that they could get 2 tickets. And then once the ball starts rolling, you're going to be surprised how many people still continue to ask questions. In fact, a lot of times I just have to stop the game. I'm like, okay, that's enough. We spent enough time talking about this, although I could talk about it all night. Let's get on with the rest of the party. So I do that, and what I'm doing during that time is I'm watching who's listening to me answer the questions, because sometimes people are too shy to ask. So I'm watching for people listening. I'm definitely watching for the people that are asking. And then before that night is through, I want to give 3 recruiting packets to people that I think would be most interested, or somebody that I would love to have on my team. we've met that person at a party that we're just like, oh my gosh, she's so much fun. I just love her. She would make a great 31 consultant. So we kind of pick her. Maybe she hasn't even told me she wants to be a consultant. I always try to remember that there's somebody at every 31 party who wants to be a consultant. They just don't know it yet. And definitely that was me. So I hope you all find that helpful.